A stranger approaches from a distance, and Old Sue hides in the bushes like a scared rabbit, while the unfamiliar man walks over to host a party, making sure no one is around. He pulls out a woman's underwear from his pants and places it at the previous hotspot, creating a scene that leaves Old Pio and the others completely flabbergasted. This guy is definitely the suspect. Just as they prepare to apprehend him, Cow steps on a twig as if it were a banana. Without a second thought, he bolted. The three instantly turned into a movie chase scene, and somehow caught up with him. But everyone here is wearing identical outfits. Old Pio's gaze is sharp as a hawk searching for her prey. Suddenly, her eyes lock onto a pop of red, and she promptly lines everyone up, saying, "Alright, everyone, let's see who's the one I'm after." Cow gives her a well-placed kick, while Old Sue, fearing a wrongful arrest, casually checks her underwear before heading to the station to question her. The man insists he's never killed anyone. "My home's too crowded." With 3 kids, he and his wife can only imagine interaction. So, she goes out to unwind, but is that a crime? His logic leaves Old Pio speechless, and she decides to go snoop around his house. As expected, it matches his claim, but Old Pio won't ignore the clue. Like a cheater, she locks him up for 3 days. She then employs various methods to extract the truth, and the man ultimately confesses to being the mastermind. But when he details his deeds, Old Sue thinks, "Where did you copy this from?" It's all so cobbled together. He mentions a creep behind the school, something the papers never brought up, but he keeps insisting on it. Old Sus brain whirls, and she decides she must investigate. Old Sue asks a female student about bathroom rumors. She says, "Go see for yourself." Reluctantly, he investigates alone. But alas, she finds no creep, only finds herself resembling a character from a creepy story. Life truly is theatre. A female teacher provides a clue. In the straw hut behind the bathroom, there's a woman who screams at night like she's at a concert. When Old Sue approaches the hut, the woman doesn't even talk to her. Instead, she dives inside like avoiding a paparazzi. Old Sue plops down and starts lecturing her about safety tips, at which point the woman finally starts to open up. What happened last September haunts her like horror. She's a survivor of several murders. Just like the methods from previous cases, tying this and stuffing that, I thought of it makes one want to hit the fast forward button. Because she kept playing dead, she managed to escape. She's never seen the killer's face, just recalls those delicate hands. After getting the lead, Old Sue races back to the station and grabs the creep's hand to examine it, only to find his hands are rough and callous, definitely not the killer. They've missied again. Old Sue tells Old Pooh to release him, thinking to herself, "The patient approach I used last year won't cut it. There's no way I'm letting him off easy." Just then, the chief sees this and charges in like a transformer, hoping to end this comedy of errors. As the love song plays on the radio, it begins to drizzle outside. Yet again, innocent women are in danger, and they're at a complete loss. The next day, they get a call, a lady robbed, dumped by the river. Details like Q dropping 997 peach pieces stuffed down there. It felt like a supermarket special, provoking Old Pooh to tear up the entire suspect list in rage. Suddenly, the female officer receives a call about finding the postcard from the song requester, possibly a lead to the killer. Based on the postcard address, Old Pooh and Old Sue reached the song requester's home, but found it empty, as if a missing person search was underway. Requester is a former soldier with OCD, and the neighbor tells them he's working at a nearby factory. His name is Park Hyun Caillou, and when Old Sue touches his hand, it's as delicate as silk. Old Sue senses she might be in trouble. Coincidentally, this lines up perfectly with the first incident last September, and he has no clue what the last broadcast was about. Old Sue decides to convict him, but Park Hyun Caillou stubbornly refuses, as if he's playing a game of sleepwalking. Previous interrogation methods drew public criticism, so they can't reuse old tricks without solid evidence. Old Sue suddenly recalls how White Guanhao described the crime scene in such detail. It was as if he was sipping a milkshake while narrating. They rush to find Bai Guanhao, who faints at sight of them, then climbs a pole as if escaping on a canoe. Old Sue and Old Pooh patiently coax him down, soothing White Guanhao and encouraging him to recount the scene from that night. Turns out he was hiding in the bushes and managed to clearly see the killer's face illuminated by the lightning 3 times. At the critical moment, White Guanhao acts up again. Old Pooh, furious, throws a punch. Suddenly, White Guanhao's dad arrives, and seeing his son getting bullied, he flies into a rage. The scuffle ensues, and Old Pooh gets caught up in a brawl, while White Guanhao seizes the chance to escape and runs to the tracks, aiming to conduct the train. As the train rolls in, Old Pooh yells for him to get out of the way, but alas, it's too late, and he takes a spectacular. After 24 hours of bliss in prison paradise, they finally release Park Hyun Caillou, while Old Sue thinks to herself, "What a nuisance, and now we have no leads." The female officer reveals, "I found some man's stuff on the lady's body, which could very well be evidence left by the killer." Everyone instantly becomes ecstatic because if this matches Park Hyun-kai's DNA, he's going down. However, right now, Korea lacks any technology for this, so they'll have to send it all the way to America for comparison. This back and forth will take a significant amount of time, but they have no choice but to wait. To prevent Park Hyun-kai from striking again, Oh-soo decides to keep a 24-hour watch on him, but wouldn't you know it, he slips away while she dozes off. Meanwhile, Oh-pa's wife walks a dark path to deliver medicine, when a shadowy figure suddenly spots her. Just then, a girl passes her by, and the killer hesitates between the two before deciding to kidnap the young student. Oh-pa's wife narrowly escapes, but that poor girl isn't so lucky, she gets tied up and dragged into the woods. The killer seems ready for a twisted craft show, and the girl, in utter despair, lays there with terror in her eyes.